Hi, I'm Kimberly. Welcome to the Red Bee Show. On tonight's episode, I have Brad Carter, and he is an amazing musician as well as an actor that's been in a ton of movies and TV shows, which he talks about on the show.
You're the sweetest.
It's all a facade.
You're so sweet. Oh, gee whiz.
Website ready to take on 2016? If not, we can help. We're websitedesigners.com, and if you need help getting noticed this holiday season, we can help. Websitedesigners.com makes beautiful websites, landing pages, logos, and everything else that will get eyes on your business. No matter what your online branding needs are, we have you covered. So make 2016 your best year yet with fresh, affordable, yet professional web design work from websitedesigners.com.
I really wanted to put a deck on my house.
The floor was creaking and there were cracks in the wall.
I had them put in walls in my basement.
Well, the whole thing was done on time, on budget, and not a day of work was missed.
Alpha Structural is a top-rate company. I'd recommend them to anybody.
If you live in a hillside home and gravity is pulling you towards the edge of the cliff, I recommend you call Alpha.
It was a real pleasure to work with Alpha.
It's a great practice, and the reason for that is the people. I'm very into service and making sure that people are happy with what they receive because there's so many choices in dentistry. We try to practice the golden rule dentistry, which basically means that we treat every patient as if we were the actual patient ourselves. People are nervous to come to the dentist. There's pain involved, and they probably had a bad experience. My staff and myself are very passionate about people, and we love taking care of people and changing their mindset about oral health and maintaining that healthiness.
So, hey Brad, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
We're laughing because I screwed up your intro.
It was awesome, and we'll probably use it in the blooper reel for sure.
Sorry about that.
It's totally fine. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I am so impressed with everything that you have been doing lately.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know that you were in Black Mass, which is awesome, with Johnny Depp and Benedict Cumberbatch and all these amazing actors. And
I died very, very horribly in that.
yeah, I don't know if we should give it away yet. I don't know how many people out there have seen that yet.
Look, it's been out 6 months. If you haven't seen it by now, then get on board. What are you waiting on?
So now, you've been in acting for a while, and you also were in a scene in The Revenant.
Yeah, oh,
right?
man. Yes.
Okay, now don't you tell us the story
Hit me
about
where
it.
it hurts, why don't you?
Aw.
Got cut out of The Revenant.
Aw, man.
Because I was booked to already do another film in Mississippi. I was really kind of butthurt about it, and I was just sort of kind of mad about it for a while, and then I recently had an epiphany that had I got my way and had I been in that movie and had I been there, they stretched it out for months longer than it was supposed to be, and I never would have finished my record. I never would have met the producer that helped me to fix my record because there was some problems, and a lot of things would have never happened, and I wouldn't be sitting here right now with a record for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's because you have music to share with us.
Product placement.
Now there's a story behind.
Fresh.
There's a story behind this. You have this. Okay, this is a sifter.
This is a flour sifter. This was my great-grandmother's.
A sifter, everybody.
Yeah, you can do the product placement on that.
Oh, hello. Here it is.
This was my great-grandmother's flour sifter, and then my grandmother had it, and I remember as a child her, making spreading the flour over the biscuits and everything, and that sound is very comforting to me. It reminds me of her. She died in 1993. They had a big yard sale, and they, were getting rid of all her stuff, and you could still, the sticker's still on there. It was like a quarter. And I just couldn't bear, all these people going through my grandmother's stuff, just like taking it for a quarter. And so I just kind of pulled it off the table, and it's the only thing I have of her. I'm glad I did that. But interestingly enough, years later, I just looked up at it and saw it sitting on the shelf there, and I just wrote a song with it. And so the song is the last one on, this is my EP. And I have a full record coming out in the spring that I worked really hard on. And this is, there's the sifter there. So anyway, that's why the sifter's in the picture.
Nice.
Because yeah, it's just
Because that's in the song. It's part of the. It's an musical instrument, basically.
Yeah,
right?
it's literally just me and the sifter, and that's it on the track. And that's why it's called Sifter Song. But yeah, I just like the musicality of objects and just so like just something as simple as that can make my brain think about my grandmother, think about just like these objects are endowed with our memories, and have certain meanings to us. And so like when I play this, somehow she lives again. I don't know. Does that make sense?
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. And on my record proper, when it comes out, hopefully in the spring, I have her singing in 1946 with my grandfather and his brother, and they open the record, and then we have an intermission with the two of them playing piano and singing guitar.
So you have music in your family, obviously.
Yeah, and so that record will be called Family Name.
So are you focusing more now on the music, or do you still want to continue pursuing the acting as much?
I love doing both, and I moved here in 2003, and having no acting experience, and didn't, I just knew that I wanted to come try it before I got too old.
Right.
And I was like playing guitar in bars in my college town in Georgia, in Valdosta, Georgia, and I saw the Phil Hartman story. And Phil Hartman, had just been murdered by his wife.
Right.
And they said he wasn't an actor until he was 27 years old. Someone took him to a Groundling show, and he thought that looked fun, and so Groundlings is an improv school here in L.A., and he thought that looks fun, and the rest is history. And so I was 27 at the time, and I thought, man, you can go do that. You can just go be an actor.
Yeah.
You can just start.
Yeah.
And I had always wanted to, but at the time there was nobody in Georgia like to say, you can go do it. Here's how you do it. There were no ebooks. There were no,
Right.
There was no YouTube where you could just look up how do you go be an actor. It was like, okay, so I sold everything, and it took me a year and a half to save up $1,200 because I was getting paid like $35 a night, playing music, and and I moved here, and I
pay your musicians more money.
No kidding. And well, by the time I left, I think I was getting $100 in some places, and I thought I was a big deal, playing cover tunes. But but eventually I kept playing music while I was here, trying to figure out acting, and then it kind of fell to the wayside. And I started playing with a girl. We had a duo around town. We used to do like the Roxy and places like that over on the Sunset Strip, and I started noticing my hand was tremoring in 2006, and I started, and I'm an artist. I have an art degree, and I'm a sculptor and a painter, and I know my hands very well. And there was just something wrong, and then time went on, and I kept seeing all these different doctors, and they kept saying, "Oh, we think you have Lyme disease, and we think you have chronic Lyme disease." And I took all this medication for years. It was a crazy time, and meanwhile, my career as an actor was getting better,
Right.
somehow. And I think it's because I played like cracky looking dudes, like meth, just like sort of criminal guys, and so I was kind of sickly taking all this medicine so it fit in perfectly.
Oh man.
And eventually we came to realize it was just something called essential tremor, which is the most prevalent movement disorder in the world, and way more prevalent than Parkinson's. It's a distant relative of Parkinson's. And so when you see an older person and they're shaking like this, it's usually
Essential
9
tremor.
times out of 10 it's essential tremor. And it's very disruptive to their life. I mean, it gets to the point where you can't feed yourself or
Right.
something. So you can imagine, any artist who uses their hands, or like even your makeup artist, lipstick all over your face.
Yep.
That would be no good. So it's like it's a much more stressful problem than people understand it to be. Like, the people that have it are really struggling. And once I realized that my hand was getting, there's no cure for this. It's going to go forward, not backward. Then music became important to me again. Because I was like, oh, you mean I'm going to lose my ability to play one day? And that just changed everything for me. Like when I finally clicked into that, like, oh, there's no magic pill I'm going to take that's going to fix this. And then perspective started to happen, you know. And not to mention, in my acting career, I'm steadily trying to hide this problem all the time. It was very stressful, you know, on set, you know, to not, you don't want to look like you
Can't
have a
control your,
problem.
right, yeah.
Very, very stressful for a time, so.
Now, I know there was a really interesting story about you, and that's like, aside from his artistic endeavors, is that in order to help with this problem, you went on UCLA's website about a surgery that you had for it, right?
Well, so UCLA, after a year of no medication helping my tremor, I decided to look into the deep brain stimulation. Which is an electrode into your thalamus, which is right there in my head. It was, you know, about a quarter-size hole in there, and
Scary.
And you know, it was one of those things where, you know, this surgery could really help give me back some control, because I was like, I'm way too young. I don't want to wait. I got things to do.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I decided that it was more worth it to me to risk a brain surgery, because there's complications and there's risks, and it was worth it to me to do that, to have back the control that I artistically wanted in my life.
It's pretty amazing that they have that figured out, I guess, you know?
It's very amazing. It's a miracle in my life. I love UCLA. I'll sing their praises every day. You know, every day when I get up, I'll show you. You want to see? I mean, this is a huge part of who I am.
You're like part robot, basically.
You see, this is my logo.
Oh yeah, look, you did
And
it's like a robot antennas out there and stuff.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
and that's what that means, is because you know, without the surgery, I certainly couldn't have made a record, and that's why it's such a miracle in my life. The first surgery that I had, they asked me, would you mind if we film it and put it on our website on UCLA? And I said, yeah. Who's going to ever see that? You know, like, I'm thinking, like, no one will ever know, like, just some doctors and people that are interested in it. And then they tweeted it live the morning of the surgery, and it wound up being a 7-hour surgery. And before I got out of surgery, it was viral around the world. Had I known that was going to happen, I would have said no, you know, just because it was so invasive into my privacy.
Right.
But it was one of those funny things where I was just like, yeah, who's ever going to see this? You know, sure,
Yeah.
tweet it. You mean my mom and dad can watch from Georgia? That'd be great.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
But this is such an uncommon situation for them to do an open brain surgery on camera live.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a big deal, and it's like, now I'm like the poster boy for UCLA. Like, if you go there to their neurosciences department, like, I'm literally
You're
the
like this.
pamphlet. Yeah.
Hey.
Well, it's more like,
kidding.
you know, my head wide open.
Ah!
And but it's been awesome, though. I mean, that surgery actually.
Oh, and he was awake during the brain surgery, you guys.
Yeah, if you Google Brad Carter brain surgery, or just guy plays guitar during brain surgery, you'll find many pages devoted to it.
Wow.
And some don't have their information right. Some say Parkinson's, man with Parkinson's, but that's not true. It's essential tremor, which is, I found out, you know, how sort of, that taught me quick that some of the media, like BBC, has it wrong. You know, like, it's a major news network, you know, but they have man with Parkinson's, and that's, if you don't have Parkinson's, you don't want that out there. I'm an actor. I don't want people thinking that I have Parkinson's if I have this other condition, and it's not fair to people.
Get it straight, BBC. Get it straight.
I'm telling you. So anyway, check that out. It's you won't be disappointed.
So now that I have this, I basically can control Brad. Like, if I want him to, like, move his arms around or whatever, I mean, I can just be ready.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You know, what's so funny about this is when we first were dialing it in, you have to go to your doctor many times to get them to dial it in afterwards. You know, it's not just immediate.
Right.
You know, the surgery, they find out if you can, you know, I played this guitar during the surgery because I wanted to see it help me in real time.
Now, you guys, this guitar, by the way, is amazing. It was custom made for him. And he told me a little bit about it. So why don't you tell everybody about it really quick?
This is a guitar made by Mr. Kurt Shane at ShaneGuitars.com. Schoen. It's a weird spelling, but he made this out of a 1930s Winchester shotgun shell crate, and awesome. He's awesome. And he personalized it for me. Got coins from my coin collection. My mother's name Henrietta, so the guitar's named Henrietta. And just like all the little details, the shotgun shell, the 45 bullet casing.
I just love how much he honors his mother and his grandmother. I just have to say, that must be a Southern thing.
Good old Southern boy. It's dying art for him.
Anyway, so you were playing the guitar during the brain surgery.
Yeah, and then I guess that's why it went viral, and such a strange juxtaposition, this old-looking thing and this space-age technology all around it, and me awake during it, and. It was, scary, but amazing. When people ask me, why would you risk brain damage or death, to do this surgery? I said, we have this technology, and it would be stupid of me not to take advantage of that. And as an artist, it's much more important for me to have tried my hardest. If this technology exists and I don't utilize it, then I'm an asshole. I'm a guy sitting around complaining, well, my hand's shaking. Well, there's this out there,
right?
And I can go do it. I just have to get over the fear of what it takes.
It's very brave of you, for sure.
Well, and that's the message. I go speak to people. This company Medtronic has sent me to places to speak to people, and because I'm who they find on the internet, and I tell them, I'm like, if it's fear that's keeping you from having a better quality of life, then that's on you. Would you like to see it work?
I'm kind of scared.
It's really amazing. I'd love to show people how it works. So I have this handy dandy little controller, and I put it up, and right now you'll see it says off, and so this is how my hand shakes normally.
Just all the time.
This is you figure out ways to hide it because it's an intention tremor. So if I kind of disengage the muscles, I can get away with it. But as soon as I go to do anything, especially like finger pick a guitar, this, as you can see, for an actor, this will be a problem, or a musician. And so what's amazing is you turn this on, and I feel this jolt of electricity go all the way down my hands and my feet, and you'll see drastically improves it after I kind of get over the rush of craziness that I feel.
Do you feel that in your? You feel it? Whoa.
I explain it like I feel like a superhero who's like amping up to like blow something up.
I'm sure they'll come out with that next. They're working on it. It's the future.
But you know what? It is the future, and it's amazing, and that's why I love to talk about it, because I wouldn't have made this record without it, And that first surgery didn't even work. I had to do it again 4 months later.
Whoa.
Yeah. So,
oh man.
Yeah, and in between that time, I did a Kickstarter to help me fund my record, and things have been going great ever since.
Well, speaking of your record, would you like to play a little song for us?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's play a little piece of one. I found God in the bottom of a bottle underneath the log. I drank him down, and now swimming in my stomach, and I'm taking him to town. Talking about getting drunk.
They don't do that in the South.
Not at all. So it goes on and on like that.
Beautiful.
And then it picks up, and then a girl starts singing with me, and then it just really, it becomes a foot stomping good time.
I love it. I think that, okay, for one thing, the guitar sounds beautiful, amazing.
Thank you.
It's very, very unique sound.
Thank you.
Yeah, for that guitar. And your voice is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Aww.
Well, what are you supposed to say for a man? Is there like another a voice compliment? I don't know.
Handsome?
Beautiful. Your voice is so handsome.
My voice is handsome.
You have a handsome voice.
You have a nice smelling voice.
So, okay.
know.
I know that it's all exciting as well with your acting career, and your music's out, so people should definitely go out and check that out.
Oh yeah, should I tell them where?
Yeah, why don't you?
TheBradCarter.com. It's a brand new website.
Nice.
And you got all my acting stuff on one side and all the music stuff on the other side. And right now you can buy the EP at iTunes under Brad Carter. And the EP is called Field Hand.
Field Hand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Guys, go on and check it out at thebradcarter.com.
Yeah.
What sort of advice do you have for other people that want to get into the acting business?
Oh man. If you're new to the acting biz, like even when I came 13 years ago, we were still using Thomas guides.
I remember.
Remember
that was
Thomas
me.
Guide?
Oh yeah, I remember Thomas Guide.
It was crazy, but I learned how to use that, and I'm really glad I did because it taught me how to get around LA easily.
Yep.
I was an extra when I first came here. That taught me that taught me about being on sets and being and getting around town and what not to do, watching other people
On set.
And,
that's a good.
because some
advice,
extras
yeah.
can be some extras are not so smart, and some are, and
Yeah.
then you separate yourself from them, and you be like, I'm gonna be over here, and you do your dumb things over here. But I'm glad that I did it because it taught me a lot, and it taught me how I want to be treated when I am. In my imagination, I was like, oh, when I'm in that actor's shoes, how do I want to treat other people? And it's a good lesson for me. And I think that's a great way to start. Is when you come here, just start there. Don't be like, I'm too good to be an extra, because trust me, nobody's too good to be an extra. Sometimes you got no money, and that little bit of extra work can come in handy. And just kind of learn how to be on set and what the activity is and what the jobs are and what does this guy do and what does this guy do, instead of just like talking about nothing with
Yeah.
other extras. Like really learn what's going on.
That's great advice.
It taught me a lot, and
Because you were paying attention.
I was paying attention and I was interested. And also, I think one of the first things the very first extra job I got was on Friends.
Oh, nice.
Crazy. It was like the last season of Friends, and I was sitting there drinking coffee in the coffee shop. I'm like, whoa, I'm with all the friends.
Yeah.
They're all in here.
Yeah.
Nobody makes it overnight, so don't believe anybody that tells you they're going to make you overnight.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just does take persistence,
I would meet actors that didn't know who they are. They don't know who they are. Or they're young and they haven't developed like a real personality yet or a real thing, and they just come and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna make it. Well, just know that you need to, the harder you can come with a point of view and just be who you are, the more attractive that is to casting and to agents and to everybody involved, that that will understand. If they can understand what you do and what you bring to the table, then that's going to help them put you
Right.
through the right doors.
That makes sense, because then it would make you stand out, I think. Because they'd be like,
Yeah.
well, that person is this way.
Right.
And everyone else is kind of like
Well, there's a wishy-washiness to
Right,
it, which
right,
is like actors trying to be all things.
Right.
I can do anything. Well, maybe somebody, certain people can do things better than you, and the more you understand what your weaknesses are, you can get rid of them and go towards the things that you're the bomb at, right?
Yeah.
So that was just kind of always my strategy, and I just made it up
I love it.
as I went.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Brad, I really appreciate you coming on the show today, and I hope everybody comes and checks out your music online.
Thanks.
And follows your career with the next, big movie that you're going to be in, which I'm sure will happen soon. Well, you've been in some really great TV shows, too. I just have to mention that.
Thanks.
I know, you've been in Sons of Anarchy. Mm-hmm. You were in Dexter.
Yes. One of the few killed by Dexter. One of the lucky few.
Nice. That's pretty cool, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? There was another one. There was a couple more, I think.
People really like True Detective. First
True
season.
Detective. That's right.
Yeah. I'd say that's probably my favorite show that I've been on. Getting to work with Woody and Matthew McConaughey.
I was gonna say, did you get to meet them?
Yeah, my scenes are exclusively with them. I played a character named Charlie Lang, who was Dora's ex-husband in the prison. So if you rewind and watch that, you'll see me.
Wow.
In there. Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, so did you get to like sort of hang out with them in between and whatever craft services table? You know,
we shot
What
17
happened?
hours that day. It was a crazy long day, and we shot both my episodes in that one day, and so I just hung out with them all day. And two of the nicest guys, that you'll ever meet and Woody. Love Woody. So friendly, so great. He's a raw vegan. And he's always sharing his little, all his different concoctions with you. Like, try this one.
I could
So
totally
he's a really
imagine
sweet
that.
guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Very complimentary the whole time, and he was just a really, really sweet guy.
Wow.
Yeah. And just finished a movie with Maggie Grace and Justin Chatwin. And it's called The Scent of Rain and Lightning, and hopefully that'll be around, next year, hopefully.
All right. Well, we'll just have to follow you on social media, and then we'll
Oh, yeah.
get to see all of your stuff coming up.
At the Brad Carter.
That's right. And, okay, and Sons of Anarchy. You were in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I went and covered the Love Ride here in Los Angeles.
Oh, did you?
I did. And I rode on Harley all the way up to the awesome after party, like the Foo Fighters and, everybody
Yeah.
was there. There was a bunch of Sons of Anarchy people there, too.
Man, people are crazy about that show. I had no idea. I had no idea how fanatical people were for that show. But I did 3 episodes of that in the last season. There's a character named Leland Gruen, and it was a lot of fun. Those were great guys, too.
What was the most memorable moment on set for Sons of Anarchy?
When Leah Michelle, she was playing a waitress or something, and she walked up to Tommy Flanagan.
Yeah.
And asked him how he got his scar. Right when she met him, and it was just really awkward.
It is really awkward.
And I was like, man, who does that? Who does that? I don't care, anybody,
Hey, maybe that was her pickup line, right?
Dude, I was just like, man,
I don't know.
I've never seen a worse way to meet somebody than ever. Tell me about your horrible disfiguring scar. How'd you get that? Anyway, I don't know if I should have told that story or not, but
Well, that goes right along with the Sons of Anarchy, guys. Perfect. The character, there you go.
yeah, that's who I am.
That's right.
Foot in the mouth guy.
I love it. So I really appreciate you coming and telling your stories, and I'm really excited about the fact that all of this stuff that you just showed us, the medical
Yeah.
advancements.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful.
And you're an amazing, handsome vocalist as well.
Handsome vocalist. I like it.
That's right. So thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This was fun.
All right, cool. Thank you for watching Brad Carter on
The Red Booth. Woo! Isn't that what all Southerners do?
So
Supposedly,
apparently.
according to Hollywood.